First book, Why Women Stay in Abusive Relationships.
In Past Due, When Love Is Not Enough, Plachette Adkins delves into the reasons women don't leave and the misconceptions about them. Marianne is meeting her this morning.
Hi, this is Plachette Adkins, and this is your first book. This is a big topic to tackle. Why did you choose this one?
You know, I keep seeing everything on the news about different women going through different abuse issues, women getting killed, murder, suicide. And I just felt it was just overdue for something like this to be out there, you know, other than the fairy tale books about happily ever after, when a lot of relationships are dealing with toxicity. So I wanted to put something out there that people can relate to.
And so that explains the title. I was going to ask you about that, Past Due.
Well, Past Due, for all the readers, they are going to interpret it in their way. But for me, it was dealing with the main character, Dexter, and the fact that I felt he was just past due of getting what he deserved. I mean, he was just never held accountable for the things that he did, the negative things.
Is this book your story or the stories of people that you know?
It's many women, just many women all over the world that is dealing with domestic violence. And we need to have an open dialogue about it. That's one of the reasons why it's continuing, because women are being silent about it. They're not speaking up and saying, this is what's happening to me. They're feeling ashamed. And then the myths, just the different myths about why a woman stays in an abusive relationship. You know, she's stupid. She stays because she obviously deserves it. That's just not correct. Women stay because they have been stripped down to the point where they just have no strength. So at that point, they feel like they don't have any other place to go.
And they may not have the means. They may not have the money to go somewhere else, you know, to pay rent somewhere else, or to set up a home somewhere else, or anybody to turn to. And in fact, that brings us to a list of some of the tricks that abusers use to keep their victims under control, right? To keep them from leaving. And some of these sound like they're not a big deal, each of them individually, but when you add them all up, you know, things like jealousy, for sure, controlling behavior, quick involvement, like wanting to get really serious really fast, moving in together, getting engaged, getting married, things like that.
Not taking the time to get to know that person.
Yeah, and so a woman might be flattered by that initially, right? You might be flattered by him being a little jealous, but you know, then when they start to do things like isolating a woman, they need to start watching out.
Yeah, and then women need to take responsibility too, because you cannot love a man past his pain, especially if that man does not see any fault in the negative action.
What do you mean by that? We talked about that a little bit, loving a man past his pain.
Well, a woman would feel as if they can love them enough to make them change, to make them treat them like they did in the beginning. And that's just not the case, because if a man does not see the fault in his actions, she's never going to get him to change. He's going to continue to stay that way.
Some of the other warning signs, that they blame everybody else for their problems, don't take responsibility for their own. You talk about narcissism, narcissists, also being hypersensitive, maybe to criticism of any kind. And this is interesting, cruelty to animals or children.
Yes.
Like taking it out on somebody smaller, weaker than them.
It's that control factor.
Well, this is your first book, and it's a big one. How can people get a hold of it?
They can get it on Amazon, or they can go to Barnes & Noble's.
And you can, you said it's available to be ordered at Barnes & Noble, right?
That
Not on the
correct.
shelf just yet?
Not yet.
All right. Well,
but hopefully.
Hopefully. Past Due, When Love Is Not Enough by Plachette Adkins. And we've got a link on our website as well to more information about how to get a hold of her and to get a hold of the book. And hopefully a lot of women will read it, and some may see themselves in that and take action.
Yeah, we just need to talk about it more.
Keep it out there. All right. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming
in.
Guys, back to you.
It's a courageous book to write. Absolutely. All right.
Well, it's